All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is David Casey. He is the managing director for D3 Energy. And David, it's great to see you from our OTC studios in New York City. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, mate.
Yeah, good to have you along. Excited to learn a bit more about what's been going on with the company. I know you've had some recent news out. We'll talk about that in just a second. But
Yeah.
first, tell me a bit about D3 Energy.
Well, D3 Energy's well, we've only been listed since May last year, but D3 is a company focused on helium and natural gas, methane exploration and appraisal in the Free State of South Africa, about 2.5 hours south of Johannesburg.
Yeah. So people don't understand about the market of helium and the importance of it. They think, obviously balloons, that's the number one they think
Yeah.
of. But it's used in so many more things, including healthcare, but also defense and a lot of other things.
Oh, absolutely. The largest consumer of helium in the US is actually GE, and that's for their MRI machines. But it's far more important in the manufacturing of microchips, anything semiconductors, anything with a chip is basically a 21st century mineral. Anything that we use today requires helium to manufacture it.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about the project. I know you've been granted some permits recently. So tell me what sort of the encompass as far as exploration and project is concerned.
Yeah, we've actually got 4 permits, and we've just applied for 3 more TCPs, and they're essentially to fill in the gaps in some of our acreage. We've got about 400,000 acres. Sometimes it's hard to put that in perspective, but if you look at, let's use Manhattan, for example, that'd be about 27 to 30 Manhattans in aerial extent.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a large footprint, particularly when you look at it in the context of many of our North American peers, where small acreage positions, highly productive, but small acreage positions.
Yeah.
And I suppose, sorry to cut you off, mate, but it actually flows into D3 in and of itself would probably be the largest helium resource, pure play helium resource in the world.
Yeah. So you've done a lot of testing in a large area of that particular project, or are you concentrating on a certain area of it?
Yep.
Sort of give me the idea of what's ahead.
Yeah, so the focus has been on the Bloomscroll area to date, and that's in the southern section of ER315. It's the closest area to our neighbour Renergen, who has a pilot cryogenic helium and LNG plant. We have just recently undertaken some testing to the north. Interestingly, that testing was in a borehole drilled in 1990. We've got boreholes that were drilled for gas exploration. We call them legacy gold exploration boreholes that were drilled as far back as the 80s that are still flowing commercial quantities of helium and natural gas.
Yeah. So give me an idea about the rest of this year. What can people expect as far as the company is concerned?
I think the main drive is going to be applying for a production right. At the moment, there's only one production right onshore South Africa, and that's held by Renergen, our neighbour. We're looking to be the second company to obtain a production right. That enables us to go into commercial production. It doesn't mean that we stop there. We've got a program of up to 10 wells and 3 seismic programs over the next 12 to 18 months. So it's a pretty aggressive program. We've also budgeted $1 million for potential new ventures, and so we'll continue to see how we deploy those funds as well.
And David, finally, just about, you mentioned that you're in New York at the OTC
Yep.
studios, and just the importance of the American market to what you're trying to do.
Well, the American market is one of the largest consumers of helium in the world. And so obviously, if we've got shareholders that are invested in this space, the US is potentially one of the largest markets for us down the track. At the moment, where we're focused on the ASX, but definitely I see in time our US investor base on the understanding of the importance of helium to increase significantly.
Well, David, I really appreciate your time. Thanks very much for filling us in on what's going on. It sounds like it's going to be a super busy year, and we look forward to following your story, okay?
Yeah, appreciate it, Steve. Thanks very much.
All right, there's David Casey, Managing Director of D3 Energy.